Okay. Let's see who all we've got on here. All right, so everyone, thank you for joining us today. Let's see. Trying to figure out I can't see who's in the room. So we will start with our introductions. Let's see. We'll start with Sandy. You're on mute.
Okay, here I am, Sandy Haggard, Neosho County Community College, AmeriCorps Senior Volunteers. Thank you.
Thank you. And Pam.
Good morning, Pamela Thompson. I'm with Family Resource Center and the Family Strong Grant through KU. Thank you.
Thank you. And Robin.
Hello, I'm Robin Lohman. I'm an ACMAT board member.
Okay, Kristen. You're on mute. Okay. How about Mike?
Morning, everyone. Mike Parsons. I'm a prevention program manager for DECA, and I'm doing my best to keep up with Dina's old schedule. So I'm here to kind of offer any assistance we can. And if I can't do it today, we'll get you the answers and we'll get back with you.
Very good. Well, thank you, Mike, for joining us. Debbie.
Hi, I'm Debbie Higginbotham. I'm a employee of Southeast Kansas Mental Health, both in addictions and a mental health therapist. And then I'm the program director for the Drug Free Communities Grant.
Thank you. Let's see. Okay, and who do we have in the room?
Hi, my name is Tegan Kern. I'm the Drug Free Community intern.
Thank you. And let's see, I see Lonnie. Okay.
Lonnie Jones, business services rep for Kansas Works.
Okay, and Judge Kreitz.
Dan Kreitz, Chief Judge of the 31st Judicial District, the Polk County area, and Drug Court Judge.
And Marcia.
Marcia Davis, Troy Allen County.
And I can't, it's too.
Yeah. Megan Hagman, Southeast Kansas Mental Health Center.
Okay.
Marie Jordan with CASA.
All right.
And Jessica McGinnis for Free Community Coordinator.
Sorry, didn't mean to skip you, Jessica. Did I miss anyone online?
I think you got everybody.
Okay. All right. And CASA is our agency in the spotlight. So I will let Marie take that away.
And I am apologizing for Amy. She could not make it today. She's got a couple of meetings. We are CASA. We stand for Court Appointed Special Advocates. The program started back in '77 in Seattle, Washington, based on a judge who had very limited information, but making life-changing decisions on behalf of children. And so he wanted to have a way to get more information. He wanted it to be voluntarily so that the CASA doesn't work for any agency. We work with all of them, but we don't work for anybody. We don't, we don't have the state saying you have to do this many cases or that much statistics or anything like that. So that gives us a little more liberty and freedom and more neutrality, I guess. We started here 15 years ago. Amy's been the director for about 14 years now. And we are appointed by a judge on a case, child in need of care case. Ideally, you would like an advocate for every kid in the system, but unfortunately, we don't have enough people for that. So we tend to see the worst of the worst. And we investigate a case. We don't investigate why the child came into care, but we investigate where they should go while they're in care, if they should go reintegration and go home. If that's not possible, adoption or aging out, there's various outcomes. But we walk hand in hand. We are often the only person in that child's case that is consistent throughout. We've had children go through 11 different case managers in 6 months. might see 2 or 3 different therapists in the history of their case. There are national statistics proving that a child with an advocate spends less time in the system than children without them. And we have authority by the judge to talk to anybody and everybody involved in that case, mental health, teachers, parents, family, police report. We have access to a little bit of everything, and we can then report that back to the judges and kind of be their eyes and ears on the case. We are the only agency involved in a sync case that can give its opinion backed up by facts versus just saying, you know, mom and dad might be doing great on paper, but yet we see on Facebook they're over here drinking and partying, and you know, so we need to investigate that a little more versus, oh, they look great on paper, let's send them home. So we also have the recidivity rate, of a child coming back into care when they had an advocate is way, way lower than children that don't have advocates that need to come back into care. And I forgot to bring brochures. I have a few of them, but it is what we do, how we do it. Everything is 100% confidential. Our slogan right now, it's a national program we're in. I want to say all 50 states have an advocate except one of the Dakotas. They do things, they run theirs more on a tribal court system, so they don't have us, but they're looking into branching out into Puerto Rico and some of the other provinces of America. There are, I want to say 6 to 8 counties in Kansas that do not have CASA. Otherwise, that we're in every county in Kansas, with the exception of those few. So it's a big program, and it's going stronger. Our advocates are trained. They have to do 30 hours of classroom training plus 4 hours of courtroom observation before they can be certified. And then, of course, we walk them through cases. You know, advocates have been with us 7, 8, 9 years will still come in and say, hey, this is weird, this is new, or what do you think about this? So we have an open door policy in our program. I think all programs do. We absolutely love our advocates and make sure that they are appreciated and taken care of, because they're the ones on the field fighting for these kids. So we can let, you know, the judge know that maybe a mental health eval was ordered, 3 months ago and it hasn't been done yet. You know, we can kind of remind them of that. Occasionally, especially for a younger child, infant or toddler, we'll put a picture of the kid with their case report just to remind them that while it's just a number sometimes on a piece of paper, it's, a person's life that we're talking about. We have great judges and attorneys. The guardian ad litems and everybody we work with are really good here in 31st. We've been lucky on that. So I think that's about it. Take a pamphlet if you like one and pass them around. We are located in the lower level of the courthouse, so if you ever need to pop by the office or anything.
What are the requirements to be a volunteer?
You have to be 21. We do multiple background checks. We do local and national criminal history. We do national registered sex offender. We do check your driver's license and motor vehicle reports and Social Security. My husband's actually going through our training right now to become an advocate. And he said, I have a blasting license. He's a chemist, was head chemist at Monarch. He said, I do. I went through less background paperwork to get my blasting license. But we want to make sure them kids are safe. But you've got to be 21. You've got to have valid driver's license, things like that. We do not transport kids in our program, but there are programs that do. So National CASA requires everybody to have valid driver's license, a valid driving record, and insurance. And then you'll go through an interview. Application interview, just like a job. Questions, people tend to have a lot of questions because they don't fully understand. Sometimes you get into it and don't fully understand, but and then we start a training class and let the class decide when and where they want to train. Some of them do it. I had 5 in my class back in 08 when I trained, and I was the only one that graduated. We have 11 right now training, and hopefully at least half of them will graduate, and the bulk of them. Sometimes it's a personal reason they backed out. Other times we found out that they are a side contractor for DCF or something weird like that, that when we were looking, that's not their job title, but when we were looking into their work, we find out they work on that side of it and can't be part of CASA. Too much of a conflict. So
Tell them how many advocates we have.
we have 11 advocates right now. We're training 11 advocates.
Oh.
So if everybody graduates, we'll have 22, which is awesome. I think that would be the most we've had. We have several. We have one couple that's training together, and then we have 3 husbands training right now. That it's Amy and I's husband, and then one of our advocate husbands, and they help out a lot. They're CASA partners, so they're always helping. They're kind of our work mules when we do, events and things, but mainly they get tired of only hearing a little bit about what we do and don't do, because we can't even tell our spouse what we're doing case-wise. And say I'm frustrated today, blah, 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 but not details. And, or this was awesome today, but not details. But once they're certified, we have blanket confidentiality, and so you can talk to them. So that helps a little bit, but we're just excited to be growing and continuing to grow. Amy runs a fantastic program. It's really about a 5-person job, and she's been doing it off and on by herself for 14 years and getting help here and there. We are hiring if anybody's interested, and we're calling it kind of a business manager. You're going to do the business side, grants, reports, statistics, all of that, as well as help with fundraising, things like that. We are 86% supported by fundraising that we do, and so that's why you always hear about us doing something or another for funds.
It'd be a business management position. And these are paid, right? It'd be a paid position. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a Kansas? I think you guys have a Kansas Works account already. Do you know?
I believe so.
Do you know who manages it?
I don't.
Oh.
It'll be me once we get in there, but
Your
I'll
guys'
double
main
check.
office location is up here.
yeah, it's in the courthouse.
Here, bottom floor.
That'd be like the headquarter location for there.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, we serve all 4
Is it?
counties. Amy has a satellite office out of her house that she, has people come over and stuff in Chinook, because some of our people are from like Thayer and stuff. It's just easier, but our main office is here in the courthouse.
Tell them how many cases we have. Approximately.
Should have wrote that down. That's a good thing. We currently have, I want to say 10 cases right now and 2 more pending that are waiting for advocates to be sworn in. You can have 2 cases as an advocate, and that is sometimes that can be a sibling group. So if you have like 4 kids in a family, that's a case. And then the judge can always make an exception for more cases. So a lot of times if we have a kid that we know is going up for adoption, and we've got the adoption party is, they've already been chosen, it's just a matter of timeline. So the last like 6 months, you're not doing anything on that case because it's just a matter of waiting for that timeline to get through. And so you can take on another case, or we have people that do this basically full time. They volunteer full time and they can take 4 or 5 cases and handle it. So, but right now we've got, I guess 11 or 12 active and 2 pending that are sibling groups.
For 2 cases, what is the average hours? Okay.
We say about 5 to 10 a month when you're starting. So when you're first starting is when you do all your investigation. You talk to the school, you talk to, TFI, of course, as the foster care agency. You talk to mental health, you talk to the doctors. Anybody and everybody that is involved in this child's care and the parent care, because of course, we want to make sure the parents, if they can be rehabilitated, are on the right track and getting assistance and doing what they need to do to get their child back, because reintegration is always the goal. Now that can change because parents aren't wanting to do what they're supposed to do, or they won't get clean, or they won't work a program or whatever. And 2 years in, it's like, okay, we got to do something. So this child's, rapidly aging. And so, 8 to 10 hours, that slows down as your case gets going a little bit. Like I said, sometimes you're in that limbo mode of just waiting for timelines and paperwork and stuff for permanency. But our goal is to make sure that kid gets a permanent safe home, whether that's back with its family or an adoption or even aging out for some of our teenagers. And then we follow that through from day 1 to the end. If, we've never had an advocate quit in the middle of a case. We've had a couple pass away, of course. And so we just take those over and pass them on to another advocate, but we make sure they have the same advocate the whole way through if at all possible. Like I said, a lot of times we're the only constant in that child's life between case managers and mental health and new teacher every year, things like that, so. We go into homes, we do home visits with parents, we do home visits with any placement party that might be like an adoptive placement or something. We'll go in and check out the house and make sure it's safe and not weird things going on. I like to check people's closets because it weirds them out, and that's what I want to know. If you're telling me there's a bunch of junk in your closet, that's exactly what I want to see. If your closet is clean with some handcuffs on the wall, we got a problem, you know, so that's just me personally. The program doesn't require that, but we do. Our goal is to make sure that kid is safe and much as we can possibly help that while they're in custody and whenever they reach permanency, whatever that looks like. We love adoption parties. We love celebrating reintegrations. I joke that our goal is to work ourselves out of a job because ideally that would be awesome that we don't even need, you know, there is no child abuse, but unfortunately that's not ever going to change, so.
She's understanding her work, and Amy's been phenomenal. Judge Lorenz actually created the program. And I was there from day one because he expected me to take over. He retired. He was our chief judge in Wilson County. Wonderful man. It was his brainchild. CASA was his brainchild. And but Amy and Marie do unbelievable work. They're so dedicated to these kids. So I just can't speak highly enough of them. And it's just an extremely valuable program for the kids. There's just no doubt about it. We just don't, we have more cases than we have volunteers. That's just the facts. So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, anytime you have questions, don't hesitate to contact Amy or I, or our information's on the back there. So.
I'll get this scanned and sent to Coalition.
Awesome, thank you.
Where are you advertising this job that you're hiring for?
We posted it just about everywhere, Facebook, newspapers. I think Amy did Canvas Works before I came down, but we probably need to refresh that. before I came
Absolutely.
back.
I've got a business, someone just actually left business field. They've been for 33 years as a business HR resource manager, but I mean, they can easily.
Yeah, trends over. But yeah, that will help, you know, if we get a third person, that will help tremendously. But yeah, same situation as everybody else, overworked, underpaid, you know, but we do it for the kids and that's, you know, we'll do whatever it needs for them, so. Sometimes Amy and I are texting at 2 a.m. because we're both up working, so. It just is what it is, but it's a great program. I love CASA. I've been involved in it since late, off and on, both here and in Douglas County, so.
What are your major fundraising? I know that there's the golf and there's the big heart.
The annual golf
Heights.
tournament, Father's Day weekend every year out at Isla Country Club, and that's been fantastic. We've been about, I think we did about 18,000 this year. Pump and Pete's does a big one for us every October. We don't have numbers this year, but last year they raised $73,000 in
What?
5 programs.
Amazing.
Yeah.
They do it at all their stores, whether they have a CASA in that area or not. And so the ones that have CASA, that just divides out to them. We do booths, information, bake sales, things like that. Those are our main fundraisers. And then like Giving Tuesday and end of the year giving, we always big donors that we know typically give every year because they need that last little bit of write-off on their taxes. We'll send a reminder card to and usually give a little more. But the golf tournament and Pete's are our biggest fundraisers.
Are you doing the bolus event still, the big hearts?
They are not. That stopped during well, I would say during COVID, but I think it stopped the year before because the dance teacher that was co-hosting that with us and putting that on moved out of the area. So we'd like to start up Big Hearts again. But we need to find a program to partner with that can bring in the talent show and things. So. And then we make sure that CASA is involved in just about anything and everything we can be involved in. Community wise, ACMAT, we elfed on Saturday, we stood out being the elves for Santa. We, are in all the coalitions and all the, what do you call it, chambers in all 4 counties we serve, and we do, homecoming down in Fredonia and, all the booths, all the fairs, all the festivals, the parades, we're always in parades and things, because we want to put us in a bright light and get people's mind on it, and so. Yeah, we're always looking for advocates, we're always looking for money, those 2 things will never change. If you ever have either one or know somebody who does, please give us a call, we'll be happy to help that. And even if we're not having a class, we do have an independent study training, but it's pretty boring. When you're just reading through a manual that's 300 pages long and not having discussion and conversation, so. But yeah, anybody interested or have any other questions, don't hesitate to contact us.
Thank you.
Thank you guys very much.
That was a lot of great information, Marie. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can get some more advocates. All I can say is I'm gonna have to retire first so I can take on more
Yes,
stuff.
we get that a lot. We have a lot of retirees, same thing that, we have a few that work full time, so.
That's awesome.
And that's one thing, our hours, the only thing that you are required to be at that is out of your control is gonna be court hearings and case plan meetings, and that's gonna be every 2 to 6 months, depending on your case. Everything else you decide when you wanna meet with people and stuff, and so. That kind of helps those that work full-time and things too, is that they can do that outside of their workday.
Very cool. Very good. Lots of good information there. Thank you so much. Anybody online have any questions for Marie? Okay. Well, thank you very much. Okay, next up is the consent agenda. I assume everyone has had an opportunity to review the agenda, the November minutes, treasurer's report, schedule. Any questions regarding that information? And can I get a motion to approve the November minutes?
So moved. Judge Kreitz.
Okay, Judge Kreitz and Kristen, you second?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Okay, old business, the holiday collection box distribution. Where we've got multiple boxes out there. There's at a church in Humboldt, Emprise Bank in Humboldt, Emprise Iola, the pharmacy, 2 at the courthouse. What one have I'm sure I missed something.
There's one at the college.
Oh, at the college. Okay. So,
Oh, in the mental health center.
oh, in the mental health. Okay, so we've got several out there. So hopefully, we have some generous folks out there that are contributing toward this. We do plan to pick up those boxes on Monday, December 11th, so we can get those delivered to Hope and, is that right? Hope Unlimited, right?
Right.
And any questions on that from anyone? New business, the Adopt a Child program. I think we were able to confirm, it was in our minutes last month. We had agreed to do this. We were just wanting to confirm whether or not Moran had an Adopt a Child program, and we were able to get that information, and Kristen got 3 $75 checks sent to the Adopt a Child in Iola, 1 in Moran and 1 in Humboldt. Is that right? Okay, so yes. So those have been out, and thank you, Kristen, for getting that done for us. Nominations for recognition awards. Did anybody online have anybody that they wanted to nominate, or I know we have some nominations, and are we giving those out today? I'm sorry, I'm a little.
We're gonna
scattered.
be looking at January 9th,
Okay,
if we can change our meeting.
that's true. I think that is something, did we have that on here? I guess that is something I need to request to have added. Nope, that's on there for new business. I'm sorry. Okay, and
I think that's what we're doing in January.
so we will do that. So if anybody else had any nominations, get them in here. You can email Jessica or Tegan or I, or let anybody on the board know, and we can put that in our pile of, I'd like to say a pile of nominations. So, okay. Volunteers for the 2024 Agency in the Spotlight. So if you have a group that you'd like to hear from, or your agency is interested in presenting for Agency in the Spotlight, if you could let me know, let Jessica know, and what month you would be interested in presenting. We would love to hear from your organization, or if there's something you're interested in, someone you're interested in hearing from, let us know, and maybe we can try to reach out to that organization or group and see if we can get a presentation from them. So,
I do have Greenbush down for January.
okay, perfect.
Jessica, do you know if Samantha Cope had reached out to you guys regarding Retain Works?
I don't believe so.
Yeah. I mean, she's a different representative that works with Kansas Works. They do a different program. I think she was interested in doing something like that. But I know Kansas Works would also like to do an event where we can discuss our services.
What's her last name?
Cope,
COP.
I think Lisa,
I'm sorry, what was that name?
Samantha Cope with Retain Works, and then myself, Lonnie Jones with Kansas Works. We would both be interested in being able to present.
Yeah, if you could just kind of let us know what month works best for you, we can get you scheduled. That would be great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lonnie. Anyone else? Anybody online? Well, as you think of things, I know usually after meetings, that's when my brain starts functioning and thinking, having ideas. So just shoot us an email or make a note, and we can, you can mention it next meeting. So moving on to D, we would like to, since January 2nd is the day after New Year's Day and everybody's getting back from all their holiday activities. And there was another thing on that, what was it? I can't remember the reason other than that we request to move our January meeting to the 9th.
Nominations for recognition.
And your kiddos weren't available.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, because the kids weren't back in school yet, so we wanted to recognize their achievements and efforts. So can I get a motion to move the January 2nd meeting over to January 9th? In a second? Okay. Thank you. Okay, so the next coalition meeting will be on January 9th. Same time, same place. Okay. Any other new business that needs to be brought to our attention? Okay,
I have something to share.
thank you. Go ahead, Pam.
Yeah, so I work for the Family Resource Center here in Pittsburgh through Family Strong with Ann Elliott. And we were able to hire 2 new family response advocates that are going to be out in your area. So we have Carol Foister, who is going to be our response advocate from Montgomery County and Labette County. And then we also have Leandra Hancock, who's going to be in Allen, Neosho, and Wilson County. And I put that information in there. Both of them are just hired, and Ann is out working with them and getting them trained up. So they don't have like phones or emails or anything yet. But as soon as we have that information, I will get that to you. In the meantime, if you know of a family that needs some additional assistance with anything we cover on our grant, you can send that information to Diane at frcpittsburgh.org, and she can help you, or you can email myself. It's Pamela at frcpittsburgh.org, and we can get those families hooked up with some of our resources like free legal services from Kansas Legal Services, or having the response advocates do an intake and then getting them some services in the community, just meeting them and helping them to fill out paperwork or helping them with other needs that they might have regarding their children. So.
All right, very good. Thank you. Good. And anyone else? Any new business?
Kansas Works is having an event tomorrow at the Community Health Center in Iola. I can send out a flyer to Jessica.
Yeah.
If you guys don't mind. And now they're expanding their operations, and there's gonna be quite a few positions that they're hiring for full time. Some clinical, some non-clinical, so
I will share that for you.
thank you.
Who did you say that's for?
Community Health Center,
Community
off of North State.
CHCSA.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Jessica, you and Tegan, would you like to share regarding the drug-free communities grant?
So Tegan and I have been working with students on environmental scans. So we've been partnering with Greenbush on a online survey that we're using. So we're currently working with Iola Middle School. They would like to create a presentation. They did their environmental scan through the Iola Public Library, and they found some areas of concern they'd like to bring to their attention. So they're going to create a presentation, and hopefully we can make a meeting with the director in January when they return from break. We also are focusing on December is alcohol prevention and seasonal depression month. So we're working on getting that information out on social media. We're working with Y-Link, our Youth Leaders in Kansas group. They would like to come and meet with our youth. So we're setting that up for January meetings. So a lot of students are kind of having a hard time with their schedules with all their events and holidays. So we're pushing our meetings to January on that. We did go over what public health policies were with the kiddos, just to explain what they were, why they're important. So the tobacco policy, it's fitting in nicely with the Iowa Public Library. So we felt that was something to kind of cover. And we are currently working with a youth speaker coming to Allen County. We've been in touch with a speaker. We've sent the information out to the school districts. So we are currently in that waiting game of scheduling with the school districts, which is Iola, Moran, and Humboldt, the Bolus, and the speaker. So hopefully we'll have that all sorted out in the next couple weeks. So we're excited. We're looking probably in February.
Jessica, on that, I know you were going to contact Y-Link to see if we could have the speaker bill them directly. What did you find out there?
So we're probably gonna have to, I'm gonna see if the speaker will work with us as well. We'll need to get reimbursed. So we'll have to have an invoice, pay it, get reimbursed. So I'm gonna speak out or reach out to Y-Link to kind of get an idea of what that time frame looks like. So I'm still waiting on that.
Okay.
So to bring in the public speaker, it's gonna be around $9,000 to do 2 events for all our students, 6th grade through 12th grade. So we have decided to use the Wiley funds that we get for each school district to pay for that speaker. And we are actually looking at sponsorships too, to kind of offset those costs, because we do kind of have that issue with our bank account right now, because we don't want to spend all the 9,000 all at once, because that'll affect our bank account. So we are asking sponsors if they'd like to donate to this event. We've reached out to the Allen County Sheriff's Department. I've talked to the county commissioners, so I'll try to go in there and set up a meeting with them to ask for a request on that. And I believe there were a couple on my list too to reach out to. So if anybody's interested in sponsoring and donating to the event, please let me know.
Thank you. Tegan, did you have anything to add?
I just have a request. I'd love to get a screenshot and maybe a group picture. I'd like to create kind of like a season's greetings from ACMAT for social media. If anybody would be willing to kind of stand up next to the computer screen and smile for a picture, we could do that at the end, or yeah, we could do that at the end. Will it last maybe last 5 minutes?
This is for the holiday,
This is for the holiday.
ACMAT holiday social media,
Works for me.
or I could do a print screen.
Okay. Upcoming community events. The Santa House on the Square is Saturday, December 9th from 11 to 2. And I think that's just an FYI. Okay. Agency updates. Anyone, I know we've heard from Pamela and Lonnie. Does anybody else have anything to add regarding updates or anything going on with our agency?
Drug court had 8 graduates last Thursday, huge crowd, standing room only, courtroom. And we had visitors there from a lot of different places, Washington, DC, Maryland, Florida, pretty good crowd. So
Pika.
it was.
I
really-
know someone was in the bank and they said, so what's going on at the courthouse? And I told her, I said, it's drug court. I said, it's a big deal. I said, and I just told him, I said, if you have never experienced that, you really should do that. It's very enlightening and inspiring. So.
Do you usually have standing room only?
Probably thought this was the biggest crowd we've ever had for graduation. I'm not sure.
Last 2, I think.
The last 2 have been really pretty big. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, it seems to be growing. We're gonna have the Sunflower employees, Sunflower Foundation out of Topeka was there, and they're gonna try and bring their whole board to the next graduation.
And they were in charge of the opioid.
They're distributing the opioid money settlement for the state of Kansas for the Attorney General's office. So, and we had Crawford County, Labette County, their judicial district, Cherokee County, their chief judge and a lot of staff there, because they're getting ready to start a drug court. It's about the 3rd time they visited, and they're actually going on it. So I think CHCSEK is doing a lot of the work for them as far as administering that, and but then all the mental health centers will be involved too once they get moving on it. It'll probably start next year sometime.
That is exciting. Good stuff.
Debbie, you got anything to add?
No, it was just a great graduation. I want to say we probably had, well, it has been growing since COVID. We had that large graduation with, was it 12 people? Right after COVID, but we really weren't able to do a lot of families. So it just, I mean, for me, I figured out this was more special for me this time around. And I think it's because I started group. And so the graduates I had were actually went through my groups. And so we just had more of a connection than I think in the past when I've not done groups. So it was just really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was nice having you know, the federal officials there and the state officials just to see what the program is about and then being able to help others because between, you know, CASA and drug court, Allen County, our judicial district has some great things that you have helped bring in. So. Yep.
Awesome. Definitely something to be proud of.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else online or in the room have anything to share regarding anything going on?
Picture time? Okay, so what's the easiest way to maybe do that?
Is it easiest for us to like scoot that way and like you take a screenshot of the screen?
I can definitely do that.
If
Is
you,
that
I'll
easy?
take a picture, so you're saying in front of this
Yeah, if
computer?
you guys get up here, I
We
can
can
then
see.
do a screenshot, a front screenshot.
So that way you get people.
That's a good idea. Yeah, let's do that. That'll
Hey,
work.
I thought that's
Mike.
what we were doing. So.
I was trying to imagine like taking a picture, but that works. Yeah, if we're all just kind of. Yeah.
Is there anyone online that would want to have their picture up there?
Here, look.
How about you, Mike?
Mine right
We
here.
appreciate you joining. Can we see your face?
So I think we're gonna stand in front of
Thank
it.
you.
Oh, yeah.
Or stand, oh, I got you.
Yeah, so everybody has to
Yeah, you
stand.
can stand there.
No, stand. Well,
It won't
that's
move
the
down.
ears.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta come in.
Yeah, someone blocked me.
No,
No, I have, I
Yeah,
have.
she's
Oh,
online.
yeah.
She's down there.
That looks good.
Hold on.
Don't mind my, just hit it, sorry.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, hold on.
Oh.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Got it?
I hope so.
Thank you, everybody.
That was painless, right?
Maybe. Make sure I got it. Oh, look, I see Mike.
Oh, yeah.
I love your background light. Is that good?
Christmas. Beautiful.
Yes. Thank
So
you,
you got
everyone.
everybody online and in the room, huh?
Yay.
Awesome. Okay, I entertain,
Any
well,
social media, so.
Thank you, Joe.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
My motion.
Second.
All right, meeting adjourned. Merry Christmas, everyone, and we'll see you in the new year. Thank you.
Merry Christmas. Lonnie, before you leave, I have a. Yeah, go.
Fine.
Best way to. Me, I'll send this to you.
Me first.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Right. I'll let you know.
I'm gonna say,